Hey everyone, it's Tyler the Antenna Man, and today I'm going to show you some of the last analog TV stations still on the air in the United States. Many of you may think that analog TV has been gone since the digital transition of 2009. That's not exactly the case. I took a trip to upstate New York to locate some of these analog TV stations still on the air. How can this be? Are these TV stations even legal? Stay tuned to find out. If you're a cord cutter or into antennas, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that little bell icon to receive notifications. Give this video a thumbs up as well if you think this is interesting content. I think analog TV still in the air in the US is a pretty interesting topic. So a brief history about analog television in the United States. Back on June 12th of 2009, all full-power TV stations were required to shut off their old analog signal and broadcast exclusively in digital. Low-power TV stations that broadcast either a signal of their own or repeat a full-powered signal were exempt from this transition. Originally, the plan for these stations was to convert to digital back in 2012. That date was pushed back several times, mainly due to the huge mess the FCC repack created for broadcasters. The final deadline for low-powered TV stations to shut off their analog signal, whether they have a digital signal on the air or not, is July 13th of this year, 2021. While most low-powered TV stations transitioned to digital several years ago, there are still some that are broadcasting in analog. Many on VHF Channel 6 as radio stations or Franken FMs. The audio portion of an analog TV station that broadcasts on Channel 6 is 87.7 on the radio dial. That's why some of you may remember being able to hear your local Channel 6 on the radio several years ago. It's the same concept, except these stations are strictly operating as a radio station with very limited video content. You'll see exactly what I mean later in this video. I took a trip to locate some of these analog stations that are still on the air. To plan it took some research. I looked up low-powered TV stations in states around me and saw several in New York. Most of the TV stations already had transitioned to digital, but some of these stations still had analog call letters. I knew my trip would be hit or miss. A lot of times, the FCC filings of a TV station aren't up to date. Analog call letters may be used, but the station could have turned off that signal long ago. It's a risk I was willing to take. I first traveled to Binghamton, New York. According to Wikipedia and the FCC database, 2 analog TV stations were there. WBPN-LP broadcasting as a My Network TV affiliate on Channel 10, and WXXW-LP broadcasting as a Franken FM with an urban oldies format. When I was about 10 miles from Binghamton, I tuned my car stereo to 87.7 FM. I heard static and lost hope that either station was broadcasting in analog. As I got closer, I began to hear something on 87.7. The audio was very low, but something was there. Take a listen. I took the first available exit, pulled into a parking lot, and brought out my 39-year-old Panasonic Travelvision TV from 1982. The Franken FM had a very weak signal. I could barely make out the picture, but something was there. Just for the hell of it, I tuned to Channel 10, assuming there would be nothing, because after all, what TV station would still be broadcasting in analog? To my complete shock, there it was. A real TV station broadcasting an analog signal. I checked into a hotel up on a hill with good line of sight of the broadcast tower to kind of document this station that was still on the air. Here's what I was able to pick up in my hotel room after trying several different locations for the TV. Watch as I adjust the rabbit ears.
Because 22-year-old Michael Jr. I see everybody with their fathers.
I tuned to the Franken FM on VHF Channel 6, and you could see it had a very weak signal despite being only 4 miles away from the broadcast tower. I connected a larger antenna and tuned back to the VHF Channel 10, but the signal still was not the best. It turns out WBPN-LP broadcasts a whopping 4 watts ERP. That's right, 4 watts. I spent the evening enjoying the fuzzy picture that will be gone forever in a few months. Note the interference on the VHF band shown as these little moving dots. I'm going to stop talking for a bit and let you enjoy Family Feud on this analog TV station.
We ask 100 single men, name something married men have that as far as you're concerned, they can keep it.
Jockstrap.
That's when you say something you go, I have no idea why I said that. The jockstrap.
Many of you probably forgot what an analog signal looks like, but here it is side by side with an HD signal. You can clearly see why it's no longer around. Besides the better picture quality, a TV station can broadcast multiple stations on a single RF channel in digital. In my area alone, there's 10 channels including WFMZ, PBS 39, WBPH, and some other channels, all on one single RF channel. The next day, I drove downtown to see if I could get a better signal of both channels. The Franken FM was much clearer. I was able to finally make out what was being broadcast. It was a random picture with the music playing in the background. The volume level of the Franken FM was much lower than other FM radio stations. Just listen to the difference.
That very special way.
The signal of WBPN-LP was a bit clearer downtown as well, but not the best. 4 watts can only go so far. At this point in my trip, I was happy. I found 2 TV stations broadcasting an analog both in the same area, one of which actually had content that was worth watching. I was on the fence about heading home or traveling further up north to see if there were more analog TV stations out there. I made a YouTube post and most of you said you wanted to see more, so I traveled up north towards Syracuse. A CW station with the call letters WXXW-LP was shown online. Unfortunately, it was not on the air in analog when I arrived. Despite this, I did find another Franken FM broadcasting a gospel format on VHF channel 6. Take a look. I continued north towards Watertown, New York. My hope was to pick up a Canadian TV station broadcasting an analog on VHF channel 2. At first, I did not pick up anything and I thought it was off the air, but when I drove up a hill, I was able to lock in a picture. Take a look.
And it's true. You weren't young to deal with rejection, which is like...
I couldn't find a hotel in the area where I could lock in the signal, so I decided to end my trip and head home. Very satisfied with the results. If you miss the static and fuzz of analog TV, like I do, time is running out to check out some of the last remaining analog TV stations still on the air in the United States. The final shutoff date for these stations is July 13th of this year, 2021. The regular TV stations will likely convert to digital and not blink an eye. What will happen to the Franken FMs is still up in the air. Most of you probably don't care about the 2 I showed in this video, one with a gospel format and one with an urban oldies format. However, Chicago has a very popular Franken FM that's consistently in the top 10 radio stations in the area. The station is WRME-LP, broadcasting locally on channel 6 as soft oldies MeTV FM on 87.7 FM. The owners proposed a rule change to the FCC that would allow them to broadcast an analog audio signal on 87.7 megahertz alongside the digital signal they will have to convert to in July. The approval of this rule change is still unknown at this time. For those of you who want to plan a trip to see some of the last remaining analog TV stations on the air in the United States and in Canada, I attached a link to a post I made in the description of this video. The post contains viewer confirmation, thanks to you guys, of analog TV stations that are still on the air. Thanks for watching this YouTube video. A huge thanks to Mike, Christian, Jimmy, Martin, Joanne, Brandon, and all who support me on Patreon and are members of my YouTube channel. If you would like to help support these valuable cord cutting related videos while gaining exclusive perks, such as behind the scenes content, access to my videos ad-free 1 day early, and direct contact with me, visit patreon.com/antennaman or click the join button in this video. If you're on Facebook, you can like my Facebook page at facebook.com/antennamanpa. If you're not on Facebook and would like to receive email updates when I post new videos, you can sign up to my email list in the description of this video. Stay tuned to my channel for more cord cutting and antenna related information, and have an awesome day.